Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into something really crucial for science, how grant agencies actually find the right experts to review research proposals.
Yeah, it's a massive task.
It really is. It might sound a bit behind the scenes, but making sure the money goes to the best ideas, that's fundamental.
Absolutely vital. And the old ways of doing this, they're hitting some serious bumps in the road.
How so?
Well, research has just gotten so specialized, and often it blends different fields together.
Right, interdisciplinary stuff.
Exactly. So finding that one person with the perfect mix of knowledge, it's surprisingly tough, much harder than it sounds.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive.
Yeah.
Really understand why it's so challenging and look at a tech solution that's trying to, well, shake things up.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet many listeners have felt this, right? Trying to connect different areas for a project or just feeling overwhelmed, trying to learn about a new field. This should ring some bells.
Definitely. So the core problem fundamentally is locating that ideal reviewer. Seems simple.
But it's not.
Not at all. When you start digging in, the complexity just ramps up.
Yeah, like finding someone with real deep expertise for some of these super specific projects.
Right. Imagine a proposal on, let's say, quantum coherence in photosynthetic energy transfer.
Okay, wow.
You need someone who genuinely gets quantum physics and the biology of photosynthesis.
So just searching for keywords like quantum or photosynthesis might not cut it.
Often, no, it's too broad or it misses the specific intersection. You need more nuance.
And it's not just about the technical depth, is it? There's more to it.
Exactly. You need that deep dive knowledge, but also someone who can step back and see the bigger picture. Is this actually important? Is it a real advance?
Like that advisor at the European Research Council said. Something about needing reviewers who get the details, but also recognize significance.
That's the one. Spotting a genuine leap forward versus just, incremental work. It's a crucial distinction.
Then there's the whole conflict of interest thing. That seems like a minefield.
Oh, it really is, especially in niche fields where everyone kind of knows everyone or has worked together.
So it gets harder to find someone truly impartial.
It does. These scientific communities can be quite tight-knit, tracking all those connections, past collaborations, shared institutions manually. It's a huge headache.
And agencies also want diverse reviewers, right? Not just the same few people all the time.
Yes, absolutely critical. Diversity in terms of geography, how long they've been in the field, gender, the type of institution they're from.
Why is that so important?
Well, different perspectives lead to stronger evaluations. You catch blind spots, you get a fairer assessment, and ultimately, probably better science funded.
Makes sense. You avoid groupthink.
Precisely. And actually achieving that balance manually is another big logistical challenge.
Especially when you add the sheer number of proposals coming in. Hundreds. Thousands.
Yeah, often thousands per year for major agencies. Trying to manually find and check reviewers for all of those under time pressure, it's just not practical anymore.
The quality must suffer eventually.
You reach a point of diminishing returns. It becomes less efficient, maybe less accurate, which is, where technology starts to look very appealing.
Okay, so let's talk about Prophy. You mentioned it's a tech solution. What is it exactly?
It's a platform built specifically for searching scientific literature, but importantly for this discussion, it's designed to help grant agencies find those peer reviewers.
And how does it tackle these challenges we've been talking about? What makes it different?
The key difference is that it tries to understand the meaning, the actual scientific concepts, not just keywords.
Okay, so it's semantic search.
Exactly. Think about terms like protein folding dynamics versus conformational kinetics of polypeptides.
Different words.
But basically talking about the same scientific idea. A simple keyword search might miss that link. Prophy is designed to see those conceptual relationships.
That sounds powerful, especially with jargon varying between fields or even different languages.
Yes, it handles variations in terminology, it understands abbreviations linking them to the full terms, and it can work across multilingual research too.
How does it know all these concepts?
It's built on what they call an ontology, a massive, structured map of scientific knowledge. Over 150,000 concepts, all interconnected.
Wow. And it connects these concepts to actual researchers.
It does. They have a database profiling over 84 million researchers.
84 million? How?
By analyzing publications, more than 175 million articles. But it's not just a list of papers.
Right. What else?
It creates these semantic fingerprints for each researcher. It tracks how their expertise evolves, who they collaborate with, where they've worked. It's a much richer picture.
So it understands what they know, not just what words they've used in titles or
That's
abstracts.
the idea, a more dynamic and nuanced view of their expertise over time.
And for the agencies using it, can they narrow things down? We
Uh,
talked about diversity and things like that.
Oh, yeah. They have advanced filters. You can filter by academic age, find early career researchers or established leaders, filter by geography to get international perspectives, filter for gender balance, and crucially, find people with that cross-disciplinary expertise, even if their papers don't use the exact same buzzwords.
That sounds incredibly useful for those tricky interdisciplinary proposals.
It really is.
What about the conflict of interest problem? Does it help there?
Yes. It has automated detection for that. It looks at co-authorship patterns over time, shared institutions.
To flag potential conflicts automatically.
Right. It gives the agency a heads up, highlighting connections they might otherwise miss or spend ages searching for.
Okay, let's walk through it. An agency has a proposal. They want to use Prophy.
Hmm.
What happens? Step one.
Step one is uploading the proposal text. Prophy analyzes it, pulls out the key scientific concepts, the core research areas. Basically, it builds that semantic fingerprint for the proposal.
Got it. Like tagging its core ideas.
Exactly. Step two is the matching. The system compares that proposal fingerprint against its huge database of researcher profiles.
Looking for the closest conceptual matches.
Precisely. Finding researchers whose work aligns semantically with what the proposal is about.
And I assume it doesn't just dump 1,000 names on them.
No. Step three is relevance ranking. It ranks the potential reviewers.
Based on what?
Several things. How close the semantic match is, metrics related to their publication impact in that specific field, and also looking at the breadth versus depth of their experience.
So it's trying to find not just a match, but the best potential matches based on multiple factors.
That's the goal, a more intelligent ranking than just keyword counts.
Okay, then what? The agency gets this ranked list.
Then step four. The agency applies its own filters.
Yeah.
This is where they say, okay, we need reviewers from these geographic regions, or we want a mix of career stages, or apply diversity goals, and definitely use the conflict of interest flags.
So they overlay their specific requirements onto the ranked list.
Correct. They maintain control over those critical parameters.
And the final output, step 5.
Step 5 is the results presentation. They get a refined, ranked list of potential reviewers, but it's not just names.
What else is there?
Explanations for why someone is a good match, links to their key relevant publications, their current affiliation, contact info if available, and those conflict of interest warnings clearly marked.
It sounds very thorough. So what's the impact? Are agencies actually seeing benefits from this?
Yes, the reports are pretty positive. One of the biggest things is efficiency.
Time savings.
Huge time savings. Finding reviewers used to take days, sometimes weeks of staff time. Now, it can often be done in minutes.
Wow. That must free them up to handle more proposals or focus elsewhere.
Exactly. It increases their capacity significantly.
What about the quality of the review process? Does finding a better match actually lead to better science?
Well, the logic is that a better match means a more insightful, knowledgeable review. You get feedback from someone who truly understands the nuances of the proposed work.
Makes sense.
And because the system can uncover experts who might have been missed by traditional methods, maybe they publish in slightly different circles or use different terminology, it also helps broaden the reviewer pool.
So more diversity in the pool, potentially.
Yes, potentially leading to fair and more robust evaluations overall. It helps find those people we talked about earlier, the ones who get the details and the significance.
And that interdisciplinary advantage you mentioned. How big a deal is that in practice?
I think it's a really big deal. Prophy's ability to connect concepts across fields, even with different jargon, is something that's just incredibly difficult to do well manually.
Yeah, I can imagine trying to search for experts bridging, say, AI and climate modeling. The terms might not overlap much initially.
Right, but the underlying concepts might be closely related. That's where semantic search really adds value, finding those hidden connections.
Okay, so if a grant agency is thinking about adopting this kind of semantic search tool, what should they keep in mind? Any best practices?
Good question. First, feed the system good information. Don't just rely on the abstract. Provide the full proposal if possible. More detail helps it find better matches.
Garbage in, garbage out, basically.
Kind of, yeah. Better input leads to better output. Second, agencies need to think about how they set the filters.
Calibrating them.
Exactly. What counts as Early career or what geographic distribution makes sense can vary a lot depending on the scientific field. It's not one size fits all.
Right. Needs context.
Third, remember it's a tool, not a replacement for judgment. Especially for really crucial funding decisions, the automated suggestions should be reviewed by program managers. Combine the tech with human expertise.
Don't just blindly trust the algorithm.
Precisely. And finally, track the results. See how the reviewers identified by the system perform. Use that feedback to refine the process over time. Continuous improvement.
That all sounds very practical. So wrapping up our deep dive here, it seems clear that modern science, with its specialization and complexity, has created a real headache for grant agencies trying to find the right reviewers.
It really has. The old methods are struggling.
But technology like Prophy semantic search offers a way forward. It's about understanding the science conceptually, building deeper profiles of researchers,
And using smart filtering and conflict detection to find better matches more efficiently and maybe more fairly.
the ultimate aim being to support the best possible research by improving the review process itself.
That's the goal, strengthening that whole foundation of scientific discovery.
And maybe a final thought for you, our listener. Think about this explosion of specialized knowledge. How does it affect how you learn, how you connect ideas across different fields in your own work or life?
Yeah, it's a broader question. Are technologies like this that help bridge knowledge gaps going to become more and more important just for navigating information generally?
Definitely something to chew on.
Indeed. And if you want to dig deeper into Prophy itself, their website has more resources available.